Whew, okay. The main point I'm trying to make the association with having to be involved with other people is the darkness increasing, but doing it in your own way, that's the Cancer, Leo, Virgo. I did it my way. I got involved. I did this. But I did it my way. This is my kids. This is my. So this self-centeredness is still there, but it's continually every bit of glory, every bit of security Cancer gets, every bit of glory Leo gets. Um, it's pulling them into more commitments to maintain it. They don't get it for nothing. Okay, so arrogance is when you're getting all the attention, but you're not living up to your responsibilities, and then you end up looking like a fool. So these are the challenges of Leo as you come along. Again, I'm not trying to define them. I'm just trying to talk about them and pick up things I think that are associated that way, and hopefully you'll be able to think your own and make it and see it for yourself how these work yourself. So by Virgo, the last sign in the season, the nighttime is, daylight's still greater, but nighttime's coming right up to being equal. It's coming up to a point where they're equal, and daylight, the independence is losing its hold. The freedom is losing its hold. So Virgos are usually always trying to improve and get better so that when they lose hold, they'll be able to do it, be more capable of taking care of responsibilities. They're perfecting their techniques so they can be more useful, more efficient, more effective. And they know how to use it better than anyone. That's their strong independence. But they always need to work. Let me do this for you. They're always being pulled into having to be useful to other people so people can see how good they are at what they're doing. So they work hard at what they're doing, but they need other people to take advantage of them and make use of their skills. So it's a more self-critical, like the independence built up the most at Gemini and Cancer. And as you're going through Leo and Virgo, it's kind of breaking down. It's there, but it's a little self-critical and breaking down a little bit. So from the isolation, the moodiness and judgments of Cancer to the arrogance, delusions of grandeur or arrogance of the Leo, to the self-criticism and critical thinking of Virgo. These are the ways they put down themselves while trying to make themselves better than that. So they're sensitive to the criticism, but it's moving that direction. It's different than impulsive Aries, they're not being critical at all and just trying to go. This is like, no, not this. I got to fix this. I got to prove this. This need to improve. It's very strongly there in Virgo. It's a self-critical individuality that is almost ready to share, but really they still got to do things their way. Let me do this for you. I'll do this for you. I'll do that for you. They're not exactly, they want to follow. They're not exactly followers. They anticipate that, but they're not quite there yet. So when you get to the fall and winter, the fall signs, you have Libra, Scorpio, and Sag. And these are the real social ones. So like I said, the book by Dane Ridger, The Pulse of Life, a description of the Zodiac is a good one to read. It goes deeper into connections of one to the other and the sequence around the year in a very poetic and nice way. Whenever you slow any of these, you can slow any of these ideas down and spend a couple hours talking about it. I'm just trying to thoroughly and go across all of them. And you can't hit everything. You just kind of touch the association so it's a little more familiar to you. This is how it's become familiar to me. And so Libras, it's the beginning of fall. It's the harvest. It's the seasons. One night you see when the harvest is there. You're sharing things. You're sharing the harvest. People have their crops. They're sharing things. It's a beautiful time of year. You know, like the trees are turning. It's not quite cold yet, but you're sensing that we're not summer anymore. We're going to start our social activities. All the TV series, most social activities start in the fall and run through the winter. So the Libra has the vision, where Aries has to have the impulse of where they're going and do it impulsively. Libras have to see where they're going in context to other people. They have to have a vision of where they're going and where they're going to fit in and where it's going to lead and where they'll get appreciation from others. So this point of sharing, and Libras are insecure. When they're in a relationship, they can see where they're going. They see this is needed. They can see where they're going. As soon as the relationship is gone, a Libra gets very indecisive and doesn't know which way to go. They have to have the vision. Without a relative relationship, they tend to be a little handicapped or very insecure and not expressing their vision that much. When someone's believing in them, a Libra is really strong and really visionary. So, but they idealize relationships. They're looking, you could be so good for me. We could be so good together. Let's go for it. That's the Libra charm. When it gets to Scorpio, you're a little further into the winter. It's starting to get colder. It's not ice, but it's cold storms. The trees are all dead. Things are dying, and if you haven't had a very good crop or seed or harvest, then you know, this is the old logic, then you know, well, I have to kill a pig or a cow to get us through the winter because there's not enough harvest. If there's enough harvest, then you don't have to kill something, but there's still a need to be committed, and are we ready? Have we taken care of things at the end of the year? This need of commitment is really strongly there. So Taurus and the Scorpios work hard, but they're trying to make the commitments happen. They want trust. I put all this energy. If I'm going to get all this energy in, if I'm going to kill a cow so that we have enough food, and we're going to be there, I expect you to be trustworthy and not see other people and stay with me and work together. You know, they have a very strong judgmental character about other people and what's fair and what's not fair. So that judgment can make them very magnetic in terms of being attracted and connected to someone. But the minute something's done independently and not done together, or that threatens the trust, the Scorpio is instantly threatened, and then you'll see the sarcasm, the revenge, and the darker sides of anger of Scorpio. But it's usually because they've been let down by someone else, or someone didn't live up to their expectations, or if they did something wrong, then they're going to be angry because they got guilty. How could they have done it? And they'll be mad at themselves. So it's energies that's throwing them deeper and deeper into themselves, deeper. So you have the social factor of trying to belong, but at the same time, if you're not belonging, you're still asking deeper and deeper inside yourself, not deeper and deeper. What do I have to do? Why is this? What's fair here? They pull into themselves more. So whenever you meet a Scorpio, you're going into this deep territory of what have they been through, what's been fair, what's not, where are they, and how do they get out of themselves? And every now and then you have to just leave them alone to brood, because they're measuring everything more than most other people would be. But their judgments are usually about what's fair or not fair in relationships, who's trustworthy, who's not, and making the commitment to make it happen. So usually they'll push extra hard to make a relationship happen. But if the person doesn't want them and rejects them, that hits the deepest nerve. Well, perhaps not the deepest. Having an affair with somebody else and totally damaging trust would probably be more threatening. But in terms of business, in terms of sharing, in terms of working together, we can get so much done. I'll put this in, you put that in, let's go for it. That's Scorpio energy. Let's make a deal. It wants to consummate. It wants to prove that the energies of togetherness can be more than the sum of the parts. Let's make it happen. So, okay, so loosely speaking, Libras dream of the relationship. Scorpios want to make sure the relationship works, so they want to make love. They want to physically prove that they can be satisfied and they can accomplish things in the relationship. They want to consummate it to make sure it works. Now, when you get to Sag, when there's the most social time and the most responsible time, they want to know everybody. They don't want to get buried just in one Scorpio relationship. They don't want to be smothered because they want to have their friends. Just because I slept with you doesn't mean I can't be friends with so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. And they want to know as many people as they can and know as many ways to make love as they can, as many ways to, they're trying to understand, well, it doesn't just have to be, there's so many ways to, they're always looking for new ways and new understandings, new outlooks. So that's the philosopher, that's the preacher. But it is the most social and most responsible sign. So where Geminis are the most independent, blatant signs, following their own ideas, not being sensitive, Sagittarians can be too responsible and trying to fit in almost too much that they don't take care of enough of their own individuality. And they end up in everybody else's world, not struggling to find, who am I in this? And that brings out the contemplation and the philosophy of the Sagittarius. And all of this is hinged around your understanding of responsibility. This is going up to the greatest darkness. At a certain point, they're sensitive, they're receptive to what needs to be done, and then Capricorn makes the commitment, okay, it's time. So in a worldly way, it's fun all the time building up to Christmas. Everybody's buying presents, going at things, going up for the holidays. But as soon as it gets to December 22nd, then you get into Capricorn, everything gets serious and formal. And Christmas is often not as much fun as the getting everyone presents and thinking about it beforehand. It's actually a little more formal and stuffy with rules and everything else. But this is a runaround. Anytime you get a specific idea, you can run around the zodiac and you go around it and you keep expanding these as they go. So in my case, I've been trying to cover all this material and I wasn't sure how much time it would take. And I'm pretty well finished what I wanted to do, but we're about 15 minutes, or about 13 minutes short of the whole 2-hour period. So we have some room for some questions if anybody's got any questions or wants to ask anything.